Hey, I'm Nico, and I'm a freshman in high school. So my teacher gave me an assignment to create a piece on pop culture. He told me it could be a review of a TV show, the trendiest tech device, or a popular song. You get the idea. So I chose to do my project on my favorite movie, Avengers Infinity War. But before we talk about Infinity War, we have to take a step back and see how this cinematic universe began. It began with 2008's Iron Man, the film that introduced the whole world to Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark with the hint that he could be a part of something greater. 25 films later, the story of the Marvel Cinematic Universe is still being told, with new superheroes being introduced. In addition to the Iron Man trilogy, we have Captain America, Thor, Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, and even Ant-Man. Every set of movies introduced us to a new character, which is part of the reason why the MCU is still around today, and why so many people are heavily invested in its characters and their individual storylines. I think what makes Infinity War so special was that it wasn't just a movie full of brand new characters that had no backstory. We grew attached to each one of these heroes through a decade's worth of stories. All that being said, let me break down the movie for you. So a logline is one sentence that summarizes an entire film, and the official logline for Infinity War is, "The Avengers and their allies must be willing to sacrifice all in an attempt to defeat the powerful Thanos before his blitz of devastation and ruin puts an end to the universe." I think the best scene in the movie is when Iron Man, my personal favorite, fights the dastardly Thanos. I love this scene because throughout the entirety of the MCU, Iron Man was always seen as this undefeatable character, and so now seeing him get clobbered by Thanos is a stark reminder that he's still human and vulnerable like the rest of us. What's more interesting is that he fought Thanos knowing that he would not come out alive. But let's take this one step further. In my research, I found that I was not the only one who liked superhero movies. In fact, Avengers Endgame was the highest ever grossing superhero movie of all time, raking in $2.798 billion worldwide at the box office. I had to ask myself why. Why do so many of us love superhero films? According to Trem2012.com, the 8 traits of a superhero are listed as extraordinary abilities and powers, courageous, strong moral codes, tolerant of pain, a great sense of responsibility, a fighting spirit, mental stability, and knowledge. Could it be that our culture's obsession with superheroes is because of the story of the greatest hero of all time? According to ChristianToday.com, it seems that Jesus more than qualifies for the 8 traits of a superhero. Number 1. Extraordinary abilities and powers. Jesus healed the sick, turned water into wine, made the blind see, and oh yeah, rose from the dead. Number 2. Courageous. Jesus stood up to the religious leaders of the day many times, and at the end, he went to the cross for us. Number 3. Strong moral code. He always went by his Father's word and was the only one to fulfill the law. Number 4. Tolerant of pain. Jesus went on to carry the cross where he died a sinner's death. I can't imagine anyone enduring that death but him. Number 5. A great sense of responsibility. That sense came from the Father and down to us. He came to die for the world, and that was heavy on his shoulders. Number 6. A fighting spirit. He resisted Satan after 40 days in the desert, and when he did feel like he couldn't take that cup, he asked God for help. He stayed the course even when mankind was unforgiving and cruel because of his love. Number 7. Mental stability. Jesus went through a lot. He would leave his earthly family and disciples and make his great sacrifice for all humanity. He had to be focused on the task at hand and not be distracted. Number 8. Knowledge. He was all-knowing, and knowledge is always power. He understood how things were to work and be, and because of this, he was most suitable for this assignment. I think we all love to watch these superhero movies because we like to see the good guy overcome the bad guy. And even though I still like to pretend I'm Iron Man from time to time, I have to remember that we serve the greatest superhero of all time, Jesus.